Hi, I'm Candy Randolph of Inspire My Style. Today we're going to be talking about how to hide your belly fat. If you're a woman over 50, you know exactly what I mean. It's that little friend that decides to join us as we go through midlife and really never goes away. First, for a minute, let's talk about why it even happens. As you age, or as we age, our estrogen levels decrease in our body, in our system. And because of that, the fat in our body tends to gather and collect around our middle, thus the belly fat. There's two types of fat that we see around our middle. One is called subcutaneous fat. That is the fat just beneath the skin that we really, we touch it, we feel it, we see it, and that's what we're trying to hide. The other fat is called visceral fat. That is kind of the villain in this whole thing. It's further inside of our body, and it's the type of fat that if we don't take care to, keep our lifestyle healthy, it can ultimately lead to some dangerous health conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart conditions, high blood pressure, and more. So ultimately, throughout our life, but especially as we get older, clean eating, eating clean food, limit the processed food, limit the sugar, limit the carbohydrates, be moderate in your food choices and in your portions, and then, just as importantly, to include both aerobic exercise and strength training in your daily life. And throughout the blog, through Inspire My Style, you will find numerous posts with suggestion, tips, advice, and important resources for you to do just that. So we really want to remember all of these things first and foremost. And then we come back to how to hide the belly fat, because it's going to be there to some extent no matter how well we care for ourselves, because it's what our bodies do naturally. So here are your 5 tips. Tip number 1 in how to hide your belly fat is to understand your body shape. We all have unique shapes, but in general they fall into one of about 4 categories. And in my philosophy and what I've written about in the blog, and you'll find a link to it within the post, is there are 4 main body shapes: pear, apple, banana, and hourglass. And if you understand in general what your body shape is, it will help you tremendously to know how to dress in the most attractive way, including, in the middle portion of your body. In general, and I'm going to jump to tip number 2, as we age and as we find our bodies kind of morphing into this shape, it's better to keep the length of your top several inches below your waistline. I know for me, because I kind of look like I've looked for years, maybe within 8 to 10 pounds, I've always kind of looked like this. I haven't had huge weight shifts. I was really a fan of tucking in the tops, putting on the jeans or the slacks or the skirt, tucking things in. Maybe wear a belt, maybe not, but that was kind of my go-to outfit. And I can still do that to an extent. I just have to accept the fact that my body doesn't look like it used to. So what I do more often than not, and what I think is probably, makes sense for us in our 50s, 60s, and beyond, is to wear a longer top, several inches below our waist. Because it does not bring into focus an area that we would prefer not to, So that's really the essence of tip number 2, is to wear the tops on the outside, wear them longer. Tip number 3 focuses on the fabric. In general, a drapey fabric that's not clingy, but also not stiff and cut so that it makes you look like a tent either, because that's not what you want to accomplish. You want a nice drape and flow to the top that you're wearing. And one wonderful resource that I have found, and actually if you're watching this video as part of the blog post, the images that I have of myself on the post. I'm wearing a top from a source called Covered Perfectly. It's a website, it's an online shopping source. I have purchased several of their tops from the micro modal collection, and what I love so much about them, well, first and foremost, the site was, or the label was created by a woman in midlife who wanted to create products, fashion for women in midlife whose bodies are changing. And so the cut of these mostly tops that she offers are designed just for women like us. They give you shape, but they also give you a little bit of extra room where your body wants a little extra room. The fabric itself in the micromodal collection is beautiful. It drapes, but it doesn't cling. And that's really what you're looking for. So tip number 3 is the fabric choice. Tip number 4 has to do with layering. I love to wear tank tops. I always have, and I still do. And I wear them pretty much at home. If I'm out in public though, now, the arms just kind of don't look like they used to, even with working out and strength training. So I throw a cardigan on. I'm not a real big blazer fan, but if you enjoy wearing blazers or button downs, put your top on, put something over it. If you like to stay up with the current fashions and styles and trends, there's always something trending. In general, though, it should be a little longer, several inches below your waist to your hips, depending upon your body shape that I talked about in tip number 1. You might want to have it fall to a little bit different level, so you want to pay attention to how long it is. I'm, for me, a fan of kind of ultra long. I have a couple of dusters, the open cardigans in pretty colors that actually almost go to my knees, but I like that. And a couple that are a little shorter. So layering certainly, you're stylish, you can be comfortable, maybe cover up some of your arm, hangy stuff as well that you don't really want to show the world. And it also helps to give you that little bit of extra coverage to also hide the belly fat. And then finally, tip number 5, if you enjoy wearing dresses, look for styles that are flattering, where most of the pattern or draping or whatever is going to happens from the waist up. Examples would be A-line dresses, wrap dresses. They might have some draping and pleating and folding, and they flow nicely. Or even a trapeze style dress, depending upon your body shape, could look really well. And then just a couple of fundamentals. A well-fitting bra, no matter what you wear, or what you're trying to hide. If you're sagging down to your waist, you're still going to look like a kind of a saggy old lady. So make sure you have a proper fitting bra, and then also consider shapewear. There's so many different manufacturers and types out there, and I believe I have some listed for you right on the post if you want to check them out. So, put on something underneath that's going to help you look your best. So those are your 5 tips for hiding the belly fat. I hope you found them helpful, and we'll talk again soon.